We're going to turn now to the future Queen consort, Camilla. She's given a rare interview about her life with Prince Charles and how she has learned to cope with criticism.
For decades, the memory of Princess Diana has loomed over the British royal family like a ghost that refuses to be forgotten. And now, as Queen Camilla stands at the pinnacle of power,
instead, Camilla's gearing up to take on her biggest role yet.
It seems the past is catching up with her. A single misstep, her biggest mistake yet, has sent shockwaves through the palace, reigniting old wounds and fueling public outrage. Is this the moment royal karma finally strikes back? Has Diana's enduring legacy turned into a force Camilla can no longer escape? Join us as we uncover Queen Camilla's biggest mistakes and how Princess Diana's legacy still eclipses her. Queen Camilla's biggest mistake. Camilla's most notorious mistake, the one that cemented her place in royal controversy, was her involvement with King Charles while he was still married to Princess Diana. This wasn't just a quiet, behind-the-scenes affair. It was a shocking betrayal that sent shockwaves through the British monarchy, shaking its very foundation. The world had fallen in love with the fairy tale romance of Charles and Diana. Their grand royal wedding in 1981 had been watched by millions, and the young princess quickly became a global icon. But behind the dazzling tiaras and royal engagements, an uncomfortable truth was lurking. Camilla had never truly stepped out of Charles' life. She wasn't just an old friend. She was a confidant, a source of comfort, and ultimately, the woman he could never let go of. Diana knew. The royal family knew. And when the public finally discovered the depth of Charles and Camilla's relationship, outrage spread like wildfire. The betrayal was undeniable, and in one unforgettable interview, Diana put the entire scandal into words that would haunt Camilla forever. There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded. With that single devastating sentence, Diana shattered the illusion of a perfect royal union and cast Camilla in the role of the ultimate homewrecker.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
The world now had someone to blame for the unraveling of what was supposed to be a storybook marriage. Even after Diana's tragic death in 1997, the scandal refused to fade into history. The shadow of that affair clung to Camilla, following her for decades. And for many, no matter how much time passes or how much history is rewritten, she will always be remembered as the woman who came between a beloved princess and her prince. When King Charles and Queen Camilla finally married in 2005, many people felt it was a betrayal of Princess Diana's memory. Even today, Diana is still known as the People's Princess, beloved by millions around the world. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla remains, in the eyes of many, the woman who played a role in breaking up a royal marriage. No matter how much time passes, that shadow follows her, a part of her legacy she can never truly escape. One of the biggest reasons why so many struggle to accept Queen Camilla is simple. She never apologized. Despite everything that happened, she has never publicly acknowledged the pain Princess Diana endured or her own role in it. There has been no apology to Diana's family, her sons, or even the public. But let's not forget, Princess Diana wasn't just any woman caught in a love triangle. She was a global icon, a humanitarian, and a deeply emotional person who suffered under the immense weight of royal expectations. While her husband's affair was an open secret behind palace doors for years, Diana was often left to face the humiliation alone. Royal insiders leaked damaging stories about her. Her reputation was questioned, and yet Camilla remained silent. No statement, no expression of regret, just silence. For Prince William and Prince Harry, that silence speaks louder than words. It's one of the many reasons why Prince William in particular has never truly embraced Queen Camilla. Could they move on from the past, despite the wounds it left still being far from healed? Let's take a closer look. Camilla's royal struggles. An apology can't change the past, but it can show basic respect. Yet, Queen Camilla never publicly acknowledged the pain surrounding her role in the royal family, especially in connection to Princess Diana. Her silence only made things worse, fueling resentment that lingers to this day. This is why Diana's family, along with millions of people around the world, have never truly forgiven her. Instead of attempting to bridge the divide, Queen Camilla's quiet stance only made the controversy surrounding her more intense. When Queen Camilla married King Charles, The royal family knew she had an uphill battle with public opinion. Princess Diana was still adored by the masses, and the thought of Camilla becoming the Princess of Wales was simply out of the question. To avoid further backlash, she was given the title of Duchess of Cornwall instead, but even that didn't stop the criticism. Many felt she had no right to a royal title at all. Unlike Diana, who had aristocratic roots, Camilla had no direct royal lineage. Worse, her relationship with Charles had been marked by scandal, making her presence in the royal family deeply controversial. Then came the biggest shock of all, the announcement that she would become Queen Consort instead of Princess Consort.
May thy servant Camilla, who wears this crown, be filled by thine abundant grace.
As the public had been led to believe for years, it was a move that left many feeling deceived. Queen Camilla was never supposed to be queen, yet there she was, crowned and sitting beside King Charles. For Diana's loyal supporters, this felt like an insult to her memory, reigniting old wounds and further solidifying Camilla's struggle to gain public acceptance. One of the less talked about tensions within the royal family is the one between Queen Camilla and Princess Catherine. In the early days of Catherine's relationship with Prince William, Queen Camilla was reportedly distant and unsupportive. Some insiders claim Camilla viewed Catherine as an outsider, someone who, like Diana, didn't come from an aristocratic background. There were even whispers that Camilla tried to convince King Charles to keep his distance from Catherine in the beginning, doubting whether she was truly fit for royal life. Ironically, Catherine went on to become one of the most beloved royals of her generation. She has proven to be poised, dedicated, and deeply committed to her royal duties, qualities Camilla was once criticized for lacking. If Camilla had embraced and supported Catherine from the start, she might have earned more public sympathy. Instead, her early indifference only reinforced the perception that she was out of touch. Tensions with Prince William. For years, the tension between Queen Camilla and Prince William has been one of the biggest sources of conflict within the royal family. Their differences go far beyond personal feelings. They represent two very different visions for the monarchy's future. Prince William is focused on bringing the royal family into the modern era, where honesty, transparency, and duty take priority over outdated traditions. Queen Camilla, however, is a symbol of the old ways, a time when scandals were hidden and royal privilege was fiercely protected at all costs. Insiders say that Prince William and Queen Camilla have clashed on numerous occasions, particularly over how the monarchy should function in today's world. One of the biggest points of friction is Camilla's influence over King Charles. William reportedly feels frustrated by the level of control she has in important royal decisions, which sometimes goes against his vision for the future. But beyond their disagreements about royal affairs, there's a deeper, more personal wound, one that will never truly heal. To Prince William, Queen Camilla will always be the woman who contributed to his mother's heartbreak. His loyalty lies with Princess Diana, and the idea of fully accepting Camilla into the family was never an option. No matter how much time has passed, he cannot erase the painful memories of what his mother endured. And for many people, that's why Queen Camilla will always remain a controversial figure. One of the biggest criticisms Camilla has faced over the years is her unwillingness to be completely honest about her past, especially when it comes to her relationship with King Charles. For a long time, both she and Charles insisted that they only reconnected romantically after his marriage to Diana had completely fallen apart, but the truth tells a different story. In reality, their affair was an open secret within royal circles. Even Princess Diana knew that Charles had never truly let go of Camilla. Royal biographers suggest that their relationship never really ended, even after Charles married Diana. The infamous Camillagate tapes, recordings of a secretly taped phone call between Charles and Camilla, made it painfully clear that their romance was ongoing long before Diana was out of the picture. For the public, this lack of honesty only made matters worse. Instead of admitting the truth and taking responsibility for the pain that was caused, Camilla allowed a false version of events to be spread. This narrative downplayed the emotional toll on Princess Diana and made it seem as though she and Charles were simply two star-crossed lovers who reunited at the right time. Had Queen Camilla been upfront from the beginning, she might have gained more respect from the public, but by trying to rewrite history, she only reinforced the idea that she was someone who couldn't be fully trusted. And for many, that's a reputation she may never be able to shake. However, through all of this, did Camilla ever express remorse? Did she ever acknowledge the pain Diana went through? Let's find out. Little compassion for Princess Diana's hardships and royal influence. One of the hardest things to overlook about Queen Camilla's role in the royal family is how little compassion she has shown for what Princess Diana endured. Diana wasn't just dealing with a failed marriage, she was drowning under the weight of relentless media attention, deep emotional struggles, and a royal system that turned its back on her when she needed support the most. At a time when Diana desperately needed kindness and understanding, Camilla remained silent. And it wasn't just the affair that made things worse. It was the complete lack of acknowledgement of Diana's suffering. The world watched as Diana bravely spoke on national television, baring her soul about how lonely and heartbroken she felt. She opened up about her struggles with bulimia, the crushing feeling of abandonment from King Charles, and the constant harassment by the press. Even now, Queen Camilla rarely speaks about Diana's struggles, and when she does, it's always in a way that distances herself from the truth of what really happened. For Prince William and Prince Harry, this silence speaks volumes. Their mother's pain was undeniable, and the least Camilla could have done was show a shred of human empathy. Instead, her cold detachment only made her appear even more uncaring in the eyes of the public. Before marrying King Charles, Queen Camilla lived a relatively quiet and private life, with no official royal status. But everything changed the moment she became the Duchess of Cornwall. 000, she had access to royal estates, vast resources, and an influence she never had before, and she didn't hesitate to make full use of it. Over the years, many have accused Camilla of using King Charles's status to boost her own reputation, secure special privileges, and position herself as a central figure in the royal family. A major point of criticism is how her involvement in charity work dramatically increased only after she married Charles. Some believe this wasn't purely out of passion, but more about reshaping her public image. Unlike other royals, such as Princess Diana, Princess Catherine, and even Meghan Markle, who embraced their royal responsibilities early on, Camilla was often seen as taking a more laid-back approach. She engaged in public duties when it suited her rather than dedicating herself fully to them. Then there's the financial aspect. While Princess Diana was determined to maintain financial independence after her divorce, Camilla has never had to worry about money. With King Charles' immense wealth ensuring her comfort, she has always enjoyed a lavish lifestyle without having to make sacrifices. Disregard for royal protocol. For someone who worked so hard to become part of the royal family, Queen Camilla has often struggled to follow its long-standing traditions. Unlike Princess Catherine, who has always been careful to respect royal customs, Camilla has gained a reputation for bending, or even ignoring, some of the monarchy's most important rules. One of the most talked about examples is her refusal to properly curtsy to the Queen in public. While this might seem like a small detail to outsiders, within the royal family, gestures like curtsies symbolize deep respect and adherence to hierarchy. Even Princess Diana, despite her complicated relationship with the monarchy, always made sure to follow protocol. But Camilla, she often took a more relaxed approach, sometimes skipping traditional customs altogether. Her informal attitude might have been acceptable behind closed doors, but in public, it only fueled the perception that she didn't take her royal role seriously. And it wasn't just about curtsies. Camilla has been known to disregard royal dress codes, speak too freely in interviews, and appear visibly uncomfortable at major royal events. These moments gave the impression that, even after all these years, she still finds it difficult to fully embrace life as a royal. For someone who fought so hard to be accepted, many expected her to honor the traditions that come with the title. Instead, her actions often reinforced the belief that she was never truly suited to be queen. If there's one thing the British public has little patience for, it's a royal who seems out of touch or entitled. Unfortunately for Queen Camilla, this perception has followed her for years. While Princess Diana was adored for her warmth, kindness, and ability to connect with people from all walks of life, Camilla has often been criticized for appearing distant and privileged. In her early years as a royal, she rarely engaged with the public in the effortless and heartfelt way that Diana did. Unlike Diana, who would hug children, comfort the sick, and make personal connections with those she met, Camilla often maintained a formal distance. At times, she even seemed uninterested in royal duties, leading some to view her as detached or indifferent. Even after becoming queen consort, Camilla's interactions with the public have been described as awkward and lacking the natural charm that Diana, Princess Catherine, and even Meghan Markle have displayed. Her reserved demeanor has reinforced the belief that she sees herself as above the people, rather than as someone dedicated to serving them. Could Camilla ever replace Diana in the hearts of the people? Let's explore further. Lack of support for health initiatives and charity works. One of the most important parts of Prince Harry's legacy is his commitment to mental health awareness. He hasn't just talked about it, he's lived it. After losing his mother, Princess Diana, he openly shared his own struggles, helping to break the silence around mental health.
All I saw was the back of my mum's head, slumped on the back seat.
He took things a step further by launching the Heads Together campaign alongside Prince William and Princess Catherine, working to change how mental health is perceived, especially within the royal family. Yet one person has been noticeably missing from this movement, Queen Camilla. While other senior royals, including King Charles, Prince William, and Princess Catherine, have publicly supported Prince Harry's mental health initiatives, Camilla has remained silent. For someone who claims to be invested in modernizing the monarchy, her lack of involvement in such an important issue feels striking. What makes this absence even more glaring is the fact that mental health struggles were a major part of Princess Diana's story. Diana was one of the first royals to openly discuss her battles with depression, bulimia, and anxiety, issues that resonated with millions. And yet Queen Camilla has never acknowledged this aspect of Diana's past. For Prince Harry, who has spent years championing mental health awareness, Camilla's apparent indifference might be just another reason he keeps his distance. And for the public, it's a stark reminder that Queen Camilla may never be the kind of royal who truly connects with people on a personal level. When people think of royal charity work, a few names immediately come to mind. Princess Diana, with her fearless humanitarian efforts, personally walked through minefields and visited war-torn areas to bring global attention to suffering. Princess Catherine is known for her deeply personal approach, regularly meeting with underprivileged children and families, ensuring her work makes a real difference. Even Meghan Markle has championed women's rights and education, taking a hands-on role in supporting those in need. But when it comes to Queen Camilla, her charitable efforts don't seem to leave the same lasting impact. Yes, she has supported various causes over the years, including literacy programs, domestic violence awareness, and osteoporosis research. However, her involvement often feels more like a royal duty than a personal mission. Unlike Diana, Catherine, and Meghan, who have all shown an emotional connection to the causes they support, Camilla's charity work tends to be more formal and distant. Diana embraced AIDS patients at a time when society shunned them. Meghan actively worked with disadvantaged women to empower them. Catherine has dedicated years to understanding and advocating for early childhood development. In contrast, Camilla often appears at events, smiles for the cameras, and moves on. This lack of visible passion and personal involvement is one of the reasons the public has struggled to embrace her. Queen Camilla's controversial legacy. Queen Camilla's journey into the royal family has always been surrounded by controversy, and even after all these years, that hasn't changed. Unlike Princess Diana, who was adored by people across different generations and cultures, Queen Camilla continues to divide opinions, even within the monarchy itself. Some members of the royal circle have never fully accepted her, and even some of King Charles' closest advisors once feared that marrying Camilla would permanently damage his reputation. And in some ways, they weren't wrong. Public opinion still reflects deep skepticism toward Queen Camilla. While Prince William and Princess Catherine consistently rank as the most beloved senior royals, Camilla's approval ratings remain significantly lower. This suggests that for many people, she is still tied to the painful memories of the past, particularly the heartbreak that Princess Diana endured. Despite efforts by the palace to reshape her image, Camilla's presence continues to remind people of one of the most painful chapters in royal history. As long as Princess Diana's legacy remains as strong as it is, Queen Camilla will always be seen by many as a symbol of the monarchy's past missteps, making her one of the most controversial figures in the royal family today. If there's one thing royal watchers always pay close attention to, it's how the monarchy spends taxpayer money. And when it comes to Queen Camilla's finances, there have been plenty of unanswered questions. Before marrying King Charles, Camilla lived a relatively normal life, at least compared to the lavish standards of the royal family. But once she became the Duchess of Cornwall, everything changed. She suddenly had access to grand royal estates, luxurious vacations, and an extravagant wardrobe filled with high-end fashion. Over the years, critics have accused her of using royal funds for personal luxuries, whether it's expensive home renovations or designer outfits that come with a hefty price tag. Unlike some other members of the royal family, who have been more open about their financial arrangements, Queen Camilla's spending has remained largely private, and that secrecy has only fueled more suspicion. Many in the British public believe that if taxpayer money is involved, there should be complete transparency. However, Camilla's reluctance to disclose details about her expenses has led to growing criticism. For those who are skeptical of the monarchy, this is yet another example of how she has benefited from royal privilege without ever having to justify her spending. And at a time when the royal family is facing more scrutiny than ever, Queen Camilla's lack of financial transparency continues to damage her reputation. At a time when many powerful royal women are using their influence to fight for women's rights, Queen Camilla's absence from the conversation is hard to ignore. Princess Diana was among the first royals to take a bold stand on women's issues. She visited shelters for survivors of domestic abuse, supported single mothers, and spoke openly about the challenges women face. Meghan Markle made women's empowerment a core part of her royal work, delivering passionate speeches on gender equality.
But more importantly, the education that they have the right to receive. And for women and girls in developing countries, this is vital.
And championing female entrepreneurs. Even Princess Catherine has dedicated herself to causes that uplift women, focusing on maternal health, early childhood education, and supporting mothers.
Yeah, I was living there for 3 months.
Queen Camilla, on the other hand, has been noticeably less vocal. While she has been involved in raising awareness about domestic violence, she rarely takes a firm stance on critical feminist issues like equal pay, women's health care, or gender-based violence. Unlike other royal women who have actively embraced modern feminist movements, Camilla has remained largely on the sidelines. This reluctance to engage with these pressing issues has only deepened the divide between her and younger generations, who expect female leaders to be outspoken advocates for change. To many, it reinforces the idea that Queen Camilla is disconnected from modern struggles, more focused on preserving her royal image than making a lasting impact. What do you think about Camilla's biggest mistakes? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.